The man had died in a tragic accident, or so he thought. One moment, the world was filled with blinding headlights and screeching metal, and the next, he was standing in an abyss. A black sky stretched infinitely above, dotted with occasional flashes of crimson lightning that illuminated jagged rocks and rivers of molten lava. This was hell, the place he had been taught to fear, to expect torment and eternal suffering. But something was wrong. The air, thick with the smell of sulfur, was eerily silent. There were no cries of agony, no wails or shrieks from the damned. It felt abandoned, as though the place had been left to rot, forgotten by whatever forces had once ruled over it. He took a hesitant step forward, his boots scraping against the cracked stone ground. The only sound was the distant hiss of lava, and even that seemed muted. He glanced around, searching for something, anything, that would explain the strange emptiness. After what felt like an eternity of wandering, he came upon a dilapidated fortress, its blackened spires reaching up to the void above. The gates were open, the iron rusted and twisted as if the inhabitants had fled in haste. He entered, hoping to find answers. Inside, the air was cold, far colder than it should have been in a place like hell. Shadows clung to the walls like ancient ghosts, and the remnants of long-forgotten fires smoldered weakly in the corners. There were no creatures here, no demons, no lost souls, just silence and decay. He moved deeper into the fortress, his footsteps echoing unnervingly off the walls. As he passed through a crumbling hallway, he noticed something strange. On the floor, scattered across the ground like breadcrumbs, were small objects: a broken watch, a torn photograph, a blood-stained letter. The items seemed familiar, as though they belonged to someone he knew. His heart began to race. He reached down and picked up the photograph. It was a picture of a family, smiling and happy, except one of the figures were blurred, the face obscured. His mind raced. He had seen this picture before. It had been in his own house, on the mantel just before the crash. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the halls, low, distorted, like a whisper from the very depths of his mind. "You shouldn't have come here." He spun around, but there was no one to be seen. The voice, if it could even be called that, came from everywhere and nowhere all at once. It was as if it was woven into the very fabric of hell itself. "You don't belong here. Hell is empty. We are no longer here. We are with you." His blood ran cold. He stumbled back, completely in dismay. The voice continued, growing clearer, more insistent. "Hell no longer resides in this place. It has escaped. It lives within you, in all of you." He felt a sharp pain in his head, as if something was crawling beneath his skin, clawing its way through his thoughts. His vision blurred. He tried to scream, but his mouth wouldn't obey. The walls of the fortress seemed to close in on him, the shadows twisting, writhing like living things. The realization hit him like a lightning bolt. Hell had not been abandoned. It simply changed. The demons, the suffering, the eternal punishment, it all lived now, not in some distant forsaken realm, but within the minds of every living being, in every human who harbored guilt, fear, hatred, and pain. They all carried hell inside of them, every day, without even knowing it. And now, he too was a part of that. The residents of hell weren't in this forsaken place anymore. They had taken root in his mind, in the minds of all humankind, twisting and warping reality itself. As the shadows closed around him, his last thought was a desperate one. Am I still alive? The answer, like the voice before, was everywhere and nowhere. Not anymore. Then, silence.